right, you are welcome to today's lesson. So we are still on the concept of plane geometry 2, that is circle geometry. Okay, so basically, as I said in our previous lesson, that when we are done with the various theorems, we shall be taking some questions, examples, and look at how best we can employ the use of those properties we studied in our previous lessons. All right, so for today, our first example we are looking at is the WASSCE 2025 core mathematics. That's question 13A, since it deals with circle geometry. Okay, yeah, so that's what we are going to look at today. Before that, let me introduce myself once again. My name is Evans. I'm still your mathematics facilitator. This is WASSCE TV. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and share the videos as well. You can also get WASSCE TV on TikTok. You can also follow me on Facebook. You get most of my videos there. All right, so thank you for watching. Okay, yes, now let's get back to the question. So in this question, we are saying that in the diagram, E, F, G, and H lie on the circumference of the circle center O. Line EJ and line FH intersect at J, such that angle JFH is equal to 30 degrees and angle AJ E is also equal to what, 110 degrees. We have to calculate for the angle of EOF and also find the angle of GEF. Yes, so that is what we are going to look at. All right, so let's quickly look at how best we can solve or can find those angles. Okay, so let's first identify the angle we are talking about. That is angle EOF. Okay, so this is the particular angle we are talking about. Yes, now you remember when we're doing the properties of circle geometry, we talked about this property where we said that an angle at the center of a circle created by two radii is twice the one at the circumference. Or you can also see the angle at the circumference subtended by a chord. So the chord here is EF, that is the chord. So the angle subtended at G, okay, at the circumference of a circle is half the one at the center, at the center O. Okay, that is what that property says. Okay, yeah, so if that is what we are talking about, then we can just say that, okay, then that we can form that angle and look at this angle. Okay, so we have our circle here like this. Okay, so remember the shape, yes, in this form. Okay, so this is the angle we are talking about. So it means that the one at the circumference, if it is Q, okay, if we are giving that angle as Q, then it means that this one will be twice, okay, twice of Q will be at the one at the center. That is what that property is saying. So if that's the case, it means that we are going to find those angles here. Okay, yes, but how do we get that? You can see that we have this particular triangle. Okay, once we have that triangle, we see that we are giving one of the angles as 30 degrees. Then we need to look at this angle as well. Okay, but how do we find that angle? So all that we are going to do is, you know, this also concept. Okay, if we go back to plane geometry 1, when we're doing angles, okay, we say that when two lines intersect or cross each other, the angles formed are vertically what opposite angles. And we say that what are vertically opposite angles? They are equal. So vertically opposite angles are equal. So if that opposite angle is 110, then it means that the other side is also 110. That is what we are talking about. If that is the case, then we can conclude that those two angles are equal. Once we have that angle as 110 and we've also gotten 30 degrees, then we can find the other one easily by what? Finding the sum of interior angles of what? A triangle. Okay, in that case, we are going to have that triangle. Okay, yes, so that is what we are going to look at. All right, yes. Okay, yes, so if you have to find a sum, we are saying that so we are going to get what Q plus 110 degrees plus 30 degrees gives us what 180 degrees. Okay, and then we can group like terms. Okay, and then we are good to go. So Q is equal to 40 degrees. Okay, so it means that the one at the circumference at chin is what 140 degrees. Okay, if that's the case, then we can see that Q is 40 degrees. Okay, yes, it's 40 degrees, and then the one at the center will be what 80 degrees, because we are saying twice the one at the circumference is giving us the one at the center, so we get 80 degrees. Okay, yes, so that is what we have gotten. If that's the case, then we can conclude that angle EOF is 80 degrees. Okay, now let's look at the question 2, that is angle JEH. So what angle is that? Let's identify that one as well. Yeah, so this is the particular angle we are talking about. Okay, and how do we get that as well? Now, you see that once we have that one, then we can talk about that triangle there. We can talk about triangle EHG or JEH. Okay, then we find the sum. But before that, we need to know one of the angles there. So we have to use this property again. So you can also recall that when we're doing the properties of circuit geometry, we talk about this property. Okay, let's look at it. All right. Yes. So for that property, if you look at this, okay, in a circle, remember we said that angles subtended by a chord, or angles at the circumference subtended by a chord, what did we say? We said that they are equal. Okay, so if angles at the circumference subtended by a chord are equal, then if that side is 40 degrees, then the other angle is also what? 40 degrees. That's what we are saying. So it's very basic. Okay, so that's what I said, that before you be able to solve circuit geometry question, you need to know the properties. Okay, if you don't apply the properties, you find it so difficult. Okay, so now that we know one of the we know 40 degrees as the angle and the 110, then it becomes easy for us to find the other angle by using what? The concept of what? Interior angles in a triangle. Okay, then we can also get that triangle. Okay, and then find, so we name that angle as P, so we find P, the same property. So 40 plus 110 plus P gives us what? 180 degrees. Then we group our like terms, and then we get P to be what? 30 degrees. So it means that that given angle is what? 30 degrees. Very simple. All right. Yes. So if we have 30 there, then it means that we can get our angle JEH as what? 30 degrees. So this is very, very simple. Okay, it's not difficult. So if that's the case, then we end here and continue next time. All right, so when we meet next time, we are going to take another example, probably going to be either past question or we may get a different question. All right, so if that's the case, then let me introduce myself once again. My name is Evans. I'm still a mathematics facilitator. Please follow me on YouTube, WASSCE TV. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube, like and share the videos. Go to TikTok, you said WASSCE TV. You can also get me. But on the Facebook, you look for or search for Evans Okan. That is the name I use there. You can follow me on Facebook and you get most of my videos. Okay, yes, so let's end here and continue next time. Bye bye.